minute around the word focus, and I wanted to kind of talk about it because I think focus is really imperative, and understanding where your focus is going is really imperative. A better way to potentially look at it is like, what are you putting your attention into? Like, where's your attention going on a day-to-day basis? And again, the reason this is important is because a lot of people set themselves goals, which is key. And I'm a big believer in setting yourself a goal, creating a bit of a vision of where you want to get to in different areas, and then split that down into achievable goals or even ambitious goals that you want to go and fight for. And why focus is then so important is because you need to understand where your focus is going. Like, is your focus going into the goal? Like, what are you focusing in on to support the goal, to make sure that you are making the steps to go and achieve it? Now, what happens is, in life, things start to happen that start to take... I know, mate. Guzzles it, man. It guzzles it. Life starts to get in the way. Things start to happen on a day-to-day basis, and it starts to take your attention away. Starts to take your focus away. Your attention and your focus goes into something else, into another issue, another problem, another thing. Might not even be a problem, it might just be another element that you start to put your focus into. And before you know it, you start to slip on your goal. Your focus starts to slide away on the goal. And then before you know it again, you've not thought about it for a day. You've not thought about it for a week. You've not done any action on it in a day. Not done any action on it in a week. And funnily enough, like, you're telling your subconscious mind that you don't want the goal because you're not doing anything about it. You're not thinking about it. Like, when you have a goal, like, it should be the forefront of your mind. Every decision you make realistically should be, is this supporting my goal? Yeah, right, perfect, let's push on. Is it supporting my goal? No. Well, I've got to make a decision then. Do I want to do it? And sometimes, yeah, there might be stuff that you have to do that doesn't support your goal, but it has to be done. It's a priority, fair play. But then if it's not a priority, is that then a decision you've got to make to think, no, I need to keep my focus on my goal, on the path that's going to take me towards my goal and towards my vision. So that's why the focus element is so important, because you can set goals, okay? I know, mate, I know, no. Gotta stop though, otherwise you're going to drown yourself, aren't you? You can set yourself a goal. Loads of people set goals. Loads of people don't achieve goals. And the reason is because of focus, because they let their focus go in different directions. They start to focus in on other things. Other things become their priority over their goal. And there's things in life, that's why I do the priorities task with so many people. Anyone that works with me, the priorities task is one of the first things I do. It's like understanding what your main priorities, what your absolute must priorities in life that you can't get out of. They are an absolute must. Like looking after your baby, absolute must. That's a priority. But sorting the dogs out is an absolute priority. Like, these certain aspects that are day-to-day they must do. Once you know what they are though, then you start to decide, right, okay, so what are my must priorities for my goal, to go and achieve my goal? Because then you can work it, plan it, strategize so they work together. Then you've got the added task of understanding, right, okay, so if I do anything else outside of these, anything else outside of the must-do priorities of life, and my must-do priorities for my goal is a minimum. What are the minimum must-dos to make sure I'm moving towards my goal? Minimum. Anything outside of that, it's a decision you've got to make. Is it taking my focus and attention away from a goal? And if it is, you've got to question whether you need it in your life. If you truly want the goal, or you truly want that thing that you're aiming for, that vision, you've got to understand how much focus it needs. And achieving goals needs a lot of focus. It needs a lot of attention. A lot of attention. You should be waking up in the morning thinking about it. And again, when I work with people, I go back onto the fact of, if you have, I call them an uncertain thought. So if you're having a negative thought, a limiting belief about achieving your goal or about what you can achieve, I call that an uncertain thought. And they're key, because everyone has them. Every single person, every successful person, every person that's achieved any goal has had uncertain and negative thoughts. The difference is the people that succeed in keeping on moving towards their goals and achieving them are the people that take those uncertain thoughts, understand them, understand where they're coming from, why they're thinking them, and then reframe it. Reframe it so you change it so, well, no, I'm not having that. I am going to go and achieve it. I'm going to prove it by doing this action or acting or behaving like this. Or, you all right, buddy? Give him a quick burp. You all right, mate? But again, that's your attention, that's your focus. There's so many people, when they're having an uncertain thought, negative thought, they hide from it, they ignore it. They just assume it is normal. It's normal for me to have these limiting, negative, uncertain thoughts. But why is that normal? Because that's stopping you from going towards your goal. Yeah, it's normal to have them, but it's not normal if you're ignoring them and you are letting it stop you move forward. And it's limiting your belief in yourself, and it's breaking your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And that's why uncertain thoughts are key to understand and get down, because then you can reframe them. You can understand why they're popping into your head. What's making them come into your head? Is it something that's happened in your past that we can work on? Or is it something, a situation at the minute that you're struggling with that we can work on, but it needs to be overcome to help you move forward? Because until you overcome it, that's your focus, that's what your attention on. Your attention is on an uncertain negative thought, hopefully towards your goal. But if it's not towards your goal, you're having uncertain negative thoughts towards something completely different than your goal, which is going to occupy your mind, going to make you stressed, it's going to make you worried. So the last thing you're going to want to do is focusing on your goal. And all these things start to break down your process of achieving your goal. So awareness is key. Awareness is so key, which is why when I started to develop my B1 courses, awareness was a big chapter. Like, can you be aware of your thoughts through the day? Can you be aware of your behaviours through the day and what you're doing? Because if you're not aware of them and you're just on autopilot going through day to day, like, life's controlling you. You are not in control of life. Being aware of what you're doing and making sure you are the one that's implementing it. You are the one that's deciding what you're thinking and deciding how you're behaving, and deciding how you're acting and deciding what you're doing. Then you're in control. And when you're in control, you should be putting everything into place that directs the focus on the stuff that's needed to achieve your goal. And then if it slides, you refocus in and say, right, okay, why is it sliding? What's happened? Well, actually, my attention's been pulled over here. I've been thinking and worrying about this work situation, or the social element that actually I've let slip a bit, and I've gone down that avenue again. And it's like your attention's pulled again, your focus has been pulled away. So focus is different than goal, but focus is key for goal. Because if you have a goal, your focus has truly got to be on that. For me, personally, if you want to achieve it, if you want to achieve that goal and smash it out of the park and then be motivated to go on and achieve bigger and better and get another goal, you have to understand where your focus lies. And if you aren't achieving your goals, generally it's down to you not focusing in on it enough. And focusing in on a goal isn't just focusing on the positive actions, behaviours and thoughts that you need to implement. It's also focusing in and understanding the negative and uncertain thoughts that are creating a limiting thought pattern within your mind. And being aware of them and focusing on them in the right way, which is understanding what they are, where they've come from, how you can reframe them, is the right way. You're focusing in on it in the right way, and then you can change it, you can reframe it, and you can reprogram it to more positive thoughts. Because when that does flick into your mind, you can say, well, no, 1 minute, I've proven that's wrong because I've gone and action this. Or even, it's been proven before that this person's done it and I'm going to do it. There's so many ways you can manipulate the mind in a good way, in a positive way, in a way that helps you win at life, feel good, be positive, achieve goals. And it's so important. So the key to this video, guys, is focus is so important. Where is your focus going at this minute in time? Over the last day, where's your focus been? What have you been focusing in on? Over the last week, where's your focus been? What have you done the most? Where's your attention been? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me if that focus has been good, it's been positive? Is it taking you in the direction you want to go? Or is your focus and attention been on something that you don't want it to be on and it's taking you the opposite direction? Or do you not even know what your focus has been on? You sat there thinking, I couldn't really tell you what I focused on and my attention has been on this week. And if it's the latter, man, life is taking control of you. Life is taking control of you. Take control back. Take control back. You don't have to set goals, man, but understand what you're focusing in on, where your attention is, and make sure it's where you want it to be. Make sure it's where you want it to be. And lastly, excuses. fuck excuses, man. Like, I've had lack of sleep, I'm looking after the little man, but I'm still getting my work done. It's no excuses, man. We crack on, we focus, because it's positive for me, it's motivating for me, it's drive for me. It's waking up each morning now, propelled, man. It's like game time, let's make it happen. Excited, buzzing, like, but you've got to implement, you've got to action it. And where I used to struggle was limiting thoughts stopping me every single day. It was my mind stopping me. It's them negative thoughts. Because of my past, because of the things I've experienced in the past, because of who I've been in the past. That set my mind up, it programmed my mind. So for me to achieve what I've achieved, and for me to keep wanting to grow and achieve more, I've had to reprogram my mind. So I act differently, behave differently, and think differently than I did. But look where I am now, and look where I'm striving to get to, and I'm continuing to learn all the time. I've got so much more to learn, so much more to grow in, so many more goals to achieve, but I'm excited for it. It propels me forward on a daily motherfucking basis. And yeah, I've just had a kid, and yeah, I've got a lot of businesses on the go, and yeah, I still need to get my training in, and yeah, I still work on my self-development, but it's all worth it, man, because I love my life now compared to where it was. And I've got this little fella. Ain't it, mate? Say hello. To wrap up. Any last words, buddy? Any last words? No? Sounds like I'm choking him, but I'm not. What was that? Sound like a cat, mate. Gotta love it. Anyway, focus. Where has your focus been? Where is your focus at the minute? If you've got a goal, are you focused enough on it? Is other things taking your focus and your attention away from it? You're having uncertain thoughts, negative thoughts. Is that where your attention's going? Understand it, become aware of it, take control of it, take control of your life. Pick where you want to go, the goals you want, the visions you want. You pick the life you want. You can literally determine the life you want. We live in a day and age where anything is possible. You can go out and you can get anything you want if you put the work in, if you hustle for it, man. And hustle for me is a good word, man. A lot of people have different views on it, but for me, hustling is just hustle, man. Hustle to get what you want. And when you've got it, you can sit back and enjoy it. But for me, I enjoy the process. I enjoy the process. It's what we do.